much of a career, so I made sure I was always near. DC Comics and chocolate milkshake. Some things will always be great. DC Comics and chocolate milkshake. Even though I'm 28. DC Comics and chocolate milkshake. I guess I'm just developing late. DC Comics and chocolate milkshake. I never got over that amazing taste. With the girl in my comic shop. She's a girl that likes comics. She probably gets it a lot. Some things will always be great. DC Comics and chocolate milkshake. Even though I'm 28. DC Comics and chocolate milkshake. I guess I'm just developing late. DC Comics and chocolate milkshake. I never got over that amazing taste. Some things will always be great. Even though I'm 28, I guess I'm just developing late. I never got over that sweet, sweet taste. Determined passenger. I never learned to drive. But don't worry, I'm not asking for a ride. Some people hate the bus. Not me, I can't get enough. Some people live in the fast lane. Not me, I take the train. I love public transportation. Train or bus there, both amazing. I don't take a book. I've no time to read. It's a long journey, but there's a lot to see. Back left window, upstairs, the view alone is worth the fare. If I want to sleep, then I miss my stop. I use my phone as an alarm clock. Some people hate the bus. Not me, I can't get enough. Some people live in the fast lane. Not me, I take the train. I love public transportation. Train or bus there, both amazing. I know there's somewhere I'm supposed to be, and I'm gonna get there eventually. But when I'm travelling from A to B, I'm avoiding my responsibility, and I love the thrill of being last. Bus and trains don't go that fast. Some people hate the bus. Not me, I can't get enough. Some people live in the fast lane. Not me, I take the train. I love public transportation. Train or bus there, both amazing. I can't take a broken heart, so this'll be another false start. I knew where you lived, so when I used to walk home from school, I would go as really slow past your house in case so your bus would stop and hopefully you get off and we could start chatting or something. But the one time that did happen, I got scared and hid behind a tree. Deep breath. Stay calm. Try and hide those sweaty palms. I can't get no satisfaction. I've got an itch. I can't stop scratching. Another time, I'd overheard you saying that you're going into town. And at the time, I lived right in between two towns, but I wasn't quite sure which one you meant. So I bought a bus pass, I went to both of them, and tried to look for everywhere. When I finally saw you at WH Smith's, I got scared. Deep breath. Stay calm. Try and hide those sweaty palms. I can't get no satisfaction. I've got an itch. I can't stop scratching. I can't take another full start. So this'll be a broken heart. I can't take a broken heart. So this'll be just another full start. And then the last time this happened, we were drinking down some woods. I think the drink gave me courage. It was cider, it was cheap at the time. And I saw you standing over there with your friends. And I knew this time had to be the time. So I boldly started walking towards you. Deep breath. Stay calm. Try and hide those sweaty palms. I can't get no satisfaction. I've got an itch that I can't stop scratching. I can't take another full start. So this'll be a broken heart. I can't take a broken heart. So this'll just be another full start. I've lost the ability to speak. And I'm not down. I wish I hadn't taken off all my clothes. Now I need them. Where did they go?
Paris, please, lock up your doors. Citra, Melly's henchman is giving the orders.
I can't believe those things we did, especially now I'm sober-ish.
Paris, please, lock up your doors. Citra, Melly's henchman is giving the orders.
I'm trying to leave without waking you, but I can't leave without my socks.
Paris, please, lock up your doors. Citra, Melly's henchman is giving the orders.
You like the Beatles and I like the Stones, but those are just records that our parents owned. I can't believe those things I said. I blame it on a rush of love to the head. You like the Beatles and I like the Stones, but those are just records that our parents owned. I pulled you down onto my bed. I blame it on a massive rush of love to the head. Last night this was a great idea, but now we're both stuck here.
Paris, please, lock up your doors. Citra, Melly's henchman is giving the orders.
Under the covers, both naked. I hate to see an opportunity wasted.
Paris, please, lock up your doors. Citra, Melly's henchman is giving the orders.
Should we be doing this? You've got a girlfriend. I don't know, so let's try again.
Paris, please, lock up your doors. Citra, Melly's henchman is giving the orders.
You like the Beatles and I like the Stones, but those are just records that our parents owned. I can't believe those things I said. I blame it on a rush of love to the head. You like the Beatles and I like the Stones, but those are just records that our parents owned. I pulled you down onto my bed. I blame it on a massive rush of love to the head. We were seen kissing. There's a scene missing. There's a scene missing. We were seen kissing. There's I'm just wondering where my clothes are hidden. I read a rumour in a tabloid paper. You said something interesting. Denied it later. There was no evidence. They couldn't make it stick. It's on YouTube now and then, but it comes down pretty quick. So we stayed up and we argued all night. If we can't change the world, let's at least get the charts right. The record buying public shouldn't be voting. The record buying public shouldn't be voting. How can you sleep at night when nobody likes the music we like? How am I supposed to sleep at night when no one likes the music we write? Record buying public, we hate them. This is our group versus saying, don't worry, we can take them. On your visa, it says entertainer. You better step it up or they're gonna detain you. It's all smoke and mirrors. Don't go and see them. I wanted rock and roll, I got a science museum. So we stayed up and we argued all night. If we can't change the world, let's at least get the charts right. The record buying public shouldn't be voting. The record buying public shouldn't be voting. How can you sleep at night when nobody likes the music we like? How am I supposed to sleep at night when no one likes the music we write? Record buying public, we hate them. This is our group versus saying, don't worry, we can take them. This is our group versus saying, do you like pop music? If you like pop music, why do you let them abuse it? The record buying public. Full marks on my scorecard. A lesson learned and learned hard. Full marks on my scorecard. A lesson learned and learned hard. A brush with saying can be failed. We're doing this for you, so you better be grateful. The record buying public, we hate them. This is our group versus saying. The record buying public, we hate them. This is our group versus saying. Don't worry, we can take them. This is our group versus saying. Slapdash for no cash. Those are the records I like. Slapdash for no cash. When something doesn't sound quite right. Why is everyone trying to sound like you too? It's not a very cool thing to do. Why would you want to sound like you too? Just press record and play it straight through. They call it lo-fi, if you say so. Call your warm jets, Brian Eno. Slapdash for no cash. Those are the records I like. Slapdash for no cash. When something doesn't sound quite right. Slapdash for no cash. Those are the records I like. Slapdash for no cash. 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 I love the sound of background noise. I want to hear the crack in the singer's voice. Fingers moving on the fretboard. Every time he plays a new chord, I hear his friends hanging around. I hear him play an instrument he just found. I hear a low buzzing sound. I hear his parents hanging around. I hear his parents saying, turn it down. I hear his parents saying, turn it down. I hear his parents saying, turn it down. Call your warm jets, Ryan Eno. Slapdash for no cash. Those are the records I like. Slapdash for no cash. When something doesn't sound quite right. Slapdash for no cash. Those are the records I like. Slapdash for no cash. When something doesn't sound quite right. Slapdash for no cash. Those are the records I buy. So many bands are just putting it on. Why can't they be the same as their songs? I can't help it, I'm so naive. Another record with my heart on the sleeve. Is he as cool as he writes them? Not always, and I hold that against him. I can't believe I've only just discovered the replacements. How have I only just found out about the replacements? Some of them are nearly as old as my parents. How have I only just discovered the replacements? But I can't be sure I've been let down so many times before. This time I really want to believe another record with my heart on the sleeve. I hope I've finally found a band that's not gonna let me down. I can't believe I've only just discovered the replacements. How have I only just found out about the replacements? Some of them are nearly as old as my parents. How have I only just discovered the replacements? Second-hand records are cheaper. Reissue CDs, extra tracks. Second-hand CDs are cheaper. Reissue CDs, extra tracks. Second-hand records are cheaper. Reissue CDs have extra tracks. just discovered the replacements. Some of them are nearly the same age as my parents. I can't believe I've only just discovered the replacements. Second-hand CDs are cheaper. Reissued CDs, extra tracks. I've had a song trapped in my head all day. I can't shake it, it won't go away. I start to sing it, but manage to stop and cover it up with a little cough. I didn't mean to twist and shout. Something slipped and it just popped out. I didn't mean to twist and shout. Something slipped and it just popped out. I didn't mean to twist and shout. Something slipped and it just popped out. I didn't mean to twist and shout. Something popped and it just slipped out. I can't keep it inside me. My fingers tap out a melody. Oh no, here it comes. All I can hear is bass and drums. I've had a song in my head all day. I can't shake it, it won't go away. I start to sing it, but manage to stop and cover it up with a little cough. I didn't mean to twist and shout. Something slipped and it just popped out. I didn't mean to twist and shout. Something slipped and it just popped out. I didn't mean to twist and shout. Something slipped and it just popped out. I didn't mean to dig it out. Something popped and it just slipped out. I need to keep my lips tight shut. To sing now would be inappropriate. I need to keep my lips tight shut. To sing now would be inappropriate. I need to keep my lips tight shut. To sing now would be inappropriate. La 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 la. bathroom, I feel like an anthropologist. I know exactly what to do. There's just one cure for the summertime blues. Fire me, give me the sack. Bare feet on warm tarmac. Fire me, give me the sack. Warm feet on bare tarmac.
Does RJB jungle? First question.
Yeah, he can jungle. I guess.
Invite him. Who, Alright, just read off the subs to me.
Right, Lamb Choppy with 1p.
Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Lamb Choppy, got it. Next.
Ryu Kazai.
The Japanese guy. Got it.
Yeah. Fat Cow with a K.
Fat Cow with a K.
And QWERTY Legend.
The hardest name to type ever. Not even kidding. Of them, none of them jungle.
Not even as like a second priority.
3s or lower.
Okay.
Fat Cow and Lamb Choppy both put 3. And I believe Lamb Choppy is closer to RJ Beeman's rank.
Right, so far we're missing jungle from Team 2 and the support from Team 1.
Yeah.
That's it. That's not too bad.
Yeah, well, support can just fill.
What's the average? Silver one's a Lilybet because support needs be.
Lilybet is not on my team. Never, ever. Not even.
It could happen. It could happen.
Nope.
I could put her in.
Nope. I will kill you.
Who? Oh, teacher. No. Right. Let's speak to Lilybet then.
No. That's not even funny.
Why? What's wrong? She's a good spot. She's a better support than I am. And you play with me.
Doesn't matter. Because I swear and shit, and she fucking complains about it every goddamn time. Are you fucking kidding me?
Mumble shouldn't be live right now.
Covered in bruises. I found a bruise on my arm, one on my knee. I can feel some more in a place I can't see. Is this a new bruise, or has it been there forever? When did I do it? I can't remember anything I've done. I fought the floor and the floor won. I can't remember anything I've done. I fought the floor and the floor won. I can't remember anything I've done. I fought the floor and the floor won. I can't remember anything I've done. I fought the floor and the floor won. I don't know how I managed to do this, but I woke up this morning covered in bruises. decided to tell you how I felt. I mistakenly thought that the drink would help. I don't know what happened. The planets weren't aligned. I kept giving you a wink. You kept missing the sign. I can't remember anything I've done. I bought the floor in the floor one. I can't remember anything I've done. I bought the floor in the floor one. I can't remember anything I've done. I bought the floor and the floor one. I can't remember anything I've done. I bought the floor and the floor one. I finally managed to unravel the plot. It's not a happy ending, but it's the best that I've got. I woke up this morning covered in bruises. One Zyrtec, 2 Advil are gonna get me through this. I finally managed to unravel the plot. It's not the happiest of endings, but it's the best that I've got. I finally managed to unravel the plot. It's not a happy ending, but it's the best that I've got. I had 1 Zyrtec, 2 Advil, with the drink that made me feel invincible. I had 1 Zyrtec, 2 Advil. Then I bounced around just like a pinball.
Right, let's go live on the stream in whenever. Just give us a countdown. Please.
Well, I don't mean to be anticlimactic, but we are live, and we thank you for joining us for Game 1 of the North American series of the IRC5's r/League of Legends subreddit in Week 13. It's the first time you and I have cast together in a long while, I think, since probably my first week, which was Week 2 or 3, something like that.
Yeah, it has been a very long time. I normally get placed on the EU West games, and you normally get placed on the late night North American games long after I've gone to sleep. So yeah, it's good to be back casting with you, T-Tree.
Yeah, absolutely. How have the last 2.5 months treated you?
Yeah, it's been good. A lot of ups and downs, a lot of no-shows, a lot of drama, and a lot of fantastic games and fantastic casters to cast with. How about you?
Oh, that part's always good. Yeah, I've tried to watch the EU-West games as I've been able to the last couple of weeks to get a glimpse of how the the meta games are different. Between that and watching the LCSs on occasion, on Thursdays are one of my days off from work, so I do get a chance to watch the NA LCS on Thursdays quite a bit. So that's been nice. But other than that, I'm looking forward to some good games. I had a fun little story arc myself where I started at 6-0 or 7-1 in ranked games, but I ended up in Silver Division anyway. So.
Damn, yeah, you were playing with Vinicius, weren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd heard he was explained that to me earlier. He had a couple of good games and then a couple of bad games, and he got demoted and not good.
No, not demoted. Just didn't get placed where I'd hoped.
Okay. It can't comment. You say Silver 3, was it?
2.
Silver 2, that's not too bad. It's not the end of the world. It's not like it's Bronze 5.
Right. No, it's less levers and AFKs and more examples of Dunning-Kruger and people who are still more significantly more self-focused than team-focused.
Okay, yeah, that's a problem that I've noticed a lot. I'm currently Bronze 1, so nothing, nothing.
Yeah, so you get all the fun.
Good,
absolutely,
and, I get all the fun. Yeah.
All right, we're getting our last confirmations from our players here, and we should be just about ready to go in a second. As soon as Mr. Berries and Jizz hits that start button, we are off into the first game for North American Series Week 13 of r/League of Legends IRC5s. Vinicius as the captain of the blue team and Berries and Jizz as the captain of the red team.
Yep. Now, one thing, as we get into the bans that I am expecting is I play a lot with, Vinicius, with Chocobro, RGB, Man, Racket for Scar, and also known as Niblis on IRC myself. But, one thing that anyone who played with Vinicius can tell you is that he can't ban to save his life. He's a terrible banner.
Oh, snap. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. Vinicius should not be team captain now or ever. Also, I noticed I was watching the EU West games earlier today. It's another fun new, and we're seeing it now, a new client glitch, particularly in Spectate.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to see all 6 bans appear for Purple Team. It does mean that we have to work out the 6th ban from the champion pool, whichever one is crossed out, because we won't be able to see it. But, that's just how it goes. So far, though...
Right on. So we've seen blue team ban Amumu and Kha'Zix, and red team ban Vi so far, Vi being a strong jungler. Did you see much out of her earlier today?
No, we didn't. She hasn't been played. Well, she may have been played in Game 1. I was actually busy for that, but she definitely wasn't played in the EU West Game 2. She wasn't banned either, as far as I'm aware.
Alright, so we'll see that trend of her not being played continue.
Absolutely, Kha'Zix banned there. We saw him absolutely dominate the last game. He got absolutely fed. I think went something like 12-0-8. So pretty, anyone who's paying attention knows that Kha'Zix is a champion that kind of needs to be banned unless you are very confident that you can shut him down early game.
Sure, or unless you feel comfortable playing near either your other champions or minions throughout the game.
Blitzcrank and Kale both picked up as bans. I'm losing track of the of who banned who here. Blitzcrank, pretty standard ban. Kale, again, a pretty standard ban. I'm just trying to work out who the final ban was from the champion pool. Can we see it yet? Have we managed to work that one out yet?
I would say I've actually not taken to the task of looking for it yet. I was looking at some other things.
Okay, you continue with that.
Ben, Kale. Yeah, I don't see it here with anybody with a around or with the marker over their face. I genuinely scanning all up and down the champion list here. I don't see number 6.
Nope, I don't either. Now maybe that means that we are. It's not in the champion pool that is available to the characters we're looking at the champions we're looking at the moment. I don't know. I don't know really. We'll have to try and find.
Yeah, either that or they may have passed on a ban. I can't be entirely certain.
So far as picks, we've got Markai and Tarek for purple team, Vinicius picking up Malphite, and then Fiddlesticks and Ash. Now I know for a fact that in the pre-game lobby, Racket for Scarin did say he was going to be playing Fiddlesticks. I don't know if he's going to lock into this, but could be interesting if he chooses to play Fiddlesticks mid.
Yeah, Fiddlesticks is a strong pick in the mid lane. That sustain from the drain, and then just the way that can tip a fight. You can wail on him, and if he gets enough early AP, that drain, unless you have significant burst and ignite available to you, can really flip things around.
So I've just
no super move. We are not reading here. I don't care what you have to say. Goodbye, sir. I'm sorry. What was that?
I've just spoken to Vinicius. He's saying that there was no. The ban order was a Mumu v Kha'Zix, then a no ban, then Blitz, then Kale. So we did only see 5 bans in that banning stage. It wasn't a fact that we're not seeing it. It's just that no one was banned there.
Right. I figured at least one ban was skipped. I didn't know it was that one. We have seen Jace and potentially Cho'Gath. They're still looking at their champions here. Nothing locked in, but it's getting down to the last few seconds, so we should expect to see Technical pick out Jason Arcturus on Cho'Gath.
Yep, blue team trolling us there. All champions taking smite.
Well, no, it's effectively summoner blockers, so we don't have anything to discuss in terms of summoner spells taken by champions. So.
Yeah, absolutely, but unfortunately for them, we do have the positions that the champions are signed up to play. So
right. Not too many surprises.
Yeah, Fiddlesticks is Racket for Scarin is signed up to play mid lane. The jungler is meant to be RJB man here, and that's pretty obvious by Hecarim. You can't see Hecarim being played anywhere outside of the jungle.
And we did hear
within that team.
We did hear a discussion about mid Ash not that long ago. Racket and Fuzzy Alfalfa could switch, or could have, outside of completely ridiculous compositions, yeah, we should expect to see Malphite in the top lane, Hecarim jungling, Fiddlesticks mid, and then Zyra Ash in the bottom lane. A lot of good slows and crowd control there. So that's the blue team's composition. And then the red team, going from the bottom back up to the top, is going to be Caitlyn and Tarek. And then the mid lane should be Cho'Gath and Maokai in the jungle, and Jace at the top lane.
So, good question. Level 1 team fight. Who are you going to put your money on?
Level 1 team fight. Suspecting that it would happen probably in one of the team's jungles. It's hard to underestimate Cho'Gath's Rupture for initiation, especially if it lands into a bush on someone. Everyone else can run in. Caitlyn can throw a Piltover Peacemaker across things. Jace with the Hammer form. They both have a lot of good AoE damage and disruption, but level 1, I'd probably say red team. If the same kind of thing happened at level 4 or 6 per se, it'd be more likely, I would say, for blue team. I think they have a good mid-game team. And then red team will scale pretty well into the late game with Maokai as damage reduction, Cho'Gath especially, so long as he does decently in the early to mid game, he'll be able to do lots of high damage. Supermoo, red team is being discussed this way because in the client itself it does switch over to red team because we always play with colorblind mode. So while it does say purple team here in the client, they will be the red team once you get into the game. It's funny, there was actually something on the subreddit the other day about a colorblind summoner who had never known that purple team was always on one particular side of the map and never had first pick. He had played the game for a year plus without realizing that purple team meant second pick and top of the map.
Wow, that's
yeah, today he learned something like that.
You learn something new every day. I will admit it took me most of the way to level 30 before realising that, but I'm guessing that was because I wasn't playing draft mode at that point. You play blind pick as you're levelling up. But yeah, it's not too obvious. If you're not paying attention to the colours of the word purple and blue team, they are very pale colourings there. It's not something that immediately stands out as you look at the client with the rest of the information provided to you. So it is something that you could easily overlook.
Right, please. Make all champions and colours in the user interface neon.
Yes, bright colours. How about just give us a new client? Alright, come on. Just get on with it now.
Adobe
it's been long
Air,
enough.
Pretty OP. So, any matchups, any lanes that you particularly are looking forward to?
I'm interested to see bottom lane. I main support myself, so I'm always interested to see how Taric is going to work with Caitlyn. Not a support that I would have chosen. With Caitlyn, I would have gone for Nunu myself, especially against the slows that you're going to face with from Zyra and Ashe. I think having that little bit more of an aggressive slow, the blood boil onto Caitlyn would have been slightly more effective. Obviously, Nunu not as effective since the nerf to his blood boil, but still a very effective support champion. I guess Taric, I'm never going to turn down Taric. He is my favourite. Well, that sounded gay. He's my favourite support champion. He's truly outrageous. So Taric can work in almost any team composition. So it's something that could work and hopefully will work, because I always like to see Zyra lose because I do not like Zyra support.
I have my suspicions about Taric and Caitlyn lane. I mean, as far as damage composition, I think you have a good point, because Zyra, depending on how Chocobro Rain builds her, and I know a lot of the supports who are regulars to the RC5 channel tend to build supports a little more conservatively or less damage heavy, but I think if Chocobro were to go with some damage in the early game, perhaps a Shard or even a Morellonomicon as kind of a second or third item, the amount of damage that he'd be able to shift into that lane, because Taric is going to give an armor bonus, but if they're able to put down a lot of magic harass damage, you could really turn that to your advantage. So it'll be interesting to see from that regard how kind of the damage is balanced from the blue team in the bottom lane. Take a quick look at our skin war here. We have 2 champions coming out from each team, or 2 with skins. No, sorry, it's a 3-2 advantage in favor of the red team. I missed Officer Caitlyn over there because she always looks like a kinky whore. Not that I mean that to be particularly inappropriate, but it's just kind of true. And then we have a legendary skin coming out from each team. Surprise Party Fiddlesticks from Rocket Force Garen, and Gentleman Shogath looking lovely as always, being played by Blasphemy Cow.
Yep, and we do have the best skin in the game, Armor of the 5th Age Taric. Every self-respecting Taric player does own Pink Taric. It is the best skin in the game, and it does mean that this team is going to win, because Pink Taric automatically wins you the game. That is written into the code, it's the summoner's code, it's, if this Taric doesn't win, he should commit seppuku, Japanese ritual suicide.
That is fairly outrageous.
It's the truth. It's truly fabulous. It's outrageous, and it's the best skin in the game. You can't go wrong with it. So even if it was 5 skins versus that one Pink Taric would win.
This is a very bold prediction from our own Jiraxo. We'll see how it plays out, seeing as they don't have any Platinum Elo players on their team, but crazier things have happened. Taric with that global anti-taunt Everyone must flee, Tarek.
He just looks so fabulous.
So if Pink Tarek is fabulous, would Green Tarek be ghetto fabulous? Or
Green
what are
Tarek
those
is
other
awful.
some sort of just out and out wrong.
Yeah. If you're not going Pink Tarek, you can go Bloodstone Tarek. If not Black Tarek, it's Blue Tarek. Green Tarek's just awful.
You know, I'm a little surprised that Riot's Valentine's Day skin wasn't a Tarek skin. I think it really should have been.
Yeah, like pink, Armor of the Fifth Age Tarek. Put it on some nice.
Heartseeker Tarek. They already have a Heartseeker vein, so.
They,
thematic skin.
They aren't the worst duo lane partners either, so they could have kind of done a bit of a. I mean, I don't know the lore behind those two characters, so who knows? They could have done something special there.
Indeed, I'm going to go ahead and get our lanes rearranged and pop up our lovely little icons there so you know who we are and how you find us. There
You think we're going to see an invade from either team at this point? We are seeing pings come out from purple team to gear up for an invade, but also pings out from the blue team to defend from an invade.
Exactly, and I don't know that I'd necessarily expect to see the actual out-and-out aggression so much as a bunch of saplings coming out from Maokai.
Yep, he's got to be careful with the saplings though, because he's going to potentially give away his position.
Oh, Tarek going to the first man in there, or coming right on to Fiddlesticks. The slow goes down from Ash going across the team, but Fiddlesticks is rooted and stunned, taking a lot of damage, but so is Tarek. The snare comes in onto Maokai that's going to basically disengage as J6 turret hit and is dropped extremely low. The flash in for first blood coming out from Ash. This fight is going crazy. Chocobo Ring going to go down. Tarek taking extremely low as well. The Zyra Passive going to go off. Going to take Maokai very low. His red team is now being up chased out. Caitlyn having taken the traps level 1. I almost got choked up over 2 more deaths there coming out from Dark Wind from Fiddlesticks. Everyone being chased out and away, and they're several of those players are probably as freaked out as I am right now as blue team gets to start off their jungle.
Absolutely, Tarek and Caitlyn, they're extremely lucky to escape the Dark Wind coming out from Fiddlesticks just as they go on their tower. Both taking.
They didn't escape it per se. They just barely survived it.
They barely survived it, so they are extremely lucky because that could have been a double kill for Tarek had he had a little bit more damage. Had he gone on aggressive at the start rather than go defensive with his health pots and his Fairy Charm for the mana regen. So they're going to consider themselves very lucky. They're going to get back to base and get back into the game. It was a 1-for-1 exchange. Blue team are 300 gold lead at this stage, so it's not the end of the world for either team. Interesting to see how this is going to develop from this point.
And as I kind of suspected, we're actually seeing Jace in our mid lane here rather than Cho'Gath. So
yeah, we'll switch that one back around on the UI to balance that back out.
Hecarim seeing Maokai coming out from the jungle. He's going to do a little chasing off. Jace is going to place a counter ward and get off an accelerated shock blast.
Now looking at the item builds here at the top, Tarek's chosen to go health pots, a couple of wards and a fairy chop. Now that's not something that I would have, health pots are always good, but Tarek is a pretty tanky support champion as it is. If you have support masteries, which we didn't actually look at before, and defensive runes, you take his Q, his imbue heal at level 2 most of the time, and that gives you the sustain that you need. 40% increase if used on yourself. And the health pots aren't particularly necessary. Now, generally, I would have gone for a Fairy Charm and the health regen item build into a Philosopher's Stone, but I guess at this stage it is personal preference, or he's potentially going to be trying to be a little bit more aggressive and get in there, potentially take that little bit more damage.
Sure, there are several options, and if I'm not mistaken, depending on how Zyra builds, Fairy Charms these days do now build into a Chalice, don't they?
Yes,
we also have action going down at top. Malphite being beset upon by Maokai and Cho'Gath, but they don't have the damage to do too much other than harass him just yet. See if they keep the pressure up to try to keep him from creep scoring. He's actually outscoring Cho'Gath at this junction, but we'll see what happens when he runs out of mana, which he should relatively soon, Malphite being a pretty high mana champ early in the game.
I'm talking about building into the Fairy Charm there. If we were regarding that towards Tarek shouldn't be having mana issues. He gets mana regen from his passive on auto attacks. He shouldn't be having mana issues.
Right, but it would give them the option to build Mikhail's Crucible relatively early, and it also does give him magic resist should Zyra decide to build more magic damage.
Yeah, absolutely, and with Mikhail's it's going to be very effective with the Ashe and Zyra ultimates. That's going to be extremely effective for Caitlyn in his lane, so we could see him doing that, so that would be something that would actually be quite sensible when you now you come to mention it.
Yep, just a thought. Oh, coming into Hecarim to counter gank against Ashe, aggressive being put down onto Ashe.
Yeah, they seem to think they didn't have vision of that Tribush or of River, so they were, I think at that point they did feel pretty confident in securing that kill in Ashe, and they would have done that if it wasn't for the fact that Hecarim did just turn up just in time to kind of save Ashes there and force Purple Team back into the lane.
Certainly, certainly. You're having some mic issues there, my friend. Some of it is kind of, your speech is garbling a little bit. I don't know if that's something, it might be something you might be able to look into with your connection.
I'll sort that out and I'll be with you within a minute.
Sounds good. Don't worry, kids. We know what we're doing here. We'll be back with it as soon as possible. Jace trying to chase away some potential jungle action from Hecarim. The accelerated shock blast does give him good vision and AoE poke into and around bushes.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry for the issues. Hopefully it has improved now. If not, I genuinely don't know what it is. Sorry about that, folks.
No, not at all. These things happen. So yeah, I may need to change my push to talk or my voice options because I've been trying to use some of my casting options, and with my push to talk button currently being alt, I don't have all the options available to me that I should. In fact, I just pinged the bottom lane, so well, we're all working through things. Maokai is going to be found out by a Zyra plant as he tries to come in through the bottom of River Jungle. He's going to stick around, try to make a feint to see if blue team is going to back off or not. By virtue of the fact that they haven't backed off, he has a pretty good idea that they don't actually have a ward in and around the area.
Yeah, absolutely. He does have flash of cooldown, a flash followed by a twisted advance. He's going to be able to land.
You started having the issue again. In the meantime, Tarek has taken a slow and some aggression from Zyra, getting taken extremely low. The exhaust down onto Hecarim, as Caitlyn and Maokai now putting lots of aggression back onto Hecarim, doing plenty of damage. But they are going to be able to each back away. Red team retreating to their tower, and blue team, Hecarim having been taken relatively low. Hecarim going to find out Jace here up by his group. Red buff almost certainly going to go down, and that will be a kill for Jace, having snuck out of the mid lane and taking care of business there.
Yep, great reactions by Jace there, picking up the kill, and great reactions by Maokai earlier in the team fight to get back into that lane and not get caught out by River, because that would have meant that Zyra, Ashe, and Hecarim would have been able to peel him off to the side, upriver, out of range of Tarek and Caitlyn, and just secure that. So, great work by Maokai and Jace over the course of that engagement.
Interesting to see this blue buff going to Jace then. So that'll probably allow him to just poop out a lot more damage against Fiddlesticks in the mid lane here. Wave clear more effectively, and also have the ability to disrupt Fiddlesticks should he try to come in with an ultimate, something like that. You know, the hammer going to be up that much more often. So we'll see how that does befit him, as Hecarim gives the same treatment over to Fiddlesticks here in just a second.
So in the bottom lane there in support, Tarek has gone for a Ruby Crystal, perhaps indicating that he's going to be rushing a Sightstone as his first major item, as opposed to a Philo or a Cage's Lucky Pick. Now in the bottom counter there, Zyra has picked up a Philosopher's Stone. She will have that early GP10 advantage from the off. She does have the one. They are both on one assist, and obviously the 4 creeps aren't going to be making a huge difference, but I guess she feels a little bit less confident in her natural regeneration abilities.
Venetia's encouraging either Maokai or Cho'Gath to buy a sight ward here, because he did just reveal to Cho'Gath that there is a pink ward in the upper bush, and red team is now pinging it out. By the way, our stream viewers have decided you are either Definitely not Blitzcrank or Nunu bot, so I guess you should choose which one of those you prefer to be right now.
Nunu, it's got to be Nunu.
Yeah. So basically all your commentary from now on is just going to be push, 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 push.
That's fine by me.
Very good then. I look forward to it.
Bottom lane.
Jace coming back out. Yep, Jace having roamed from the mid lane, getting caught up by a ward. People getting taken extremely low. Caitlyn going to 90 caliber net out of there, but Taric is certainly going down. Zyra may go down as attrition, but Caitlyn not able to proc the additional auto attack. Hecarim gonna ult onto her and take down a double kill as Jace goes in for Ashe, but gets speared out by Fiddlesticks. Isn't able to take the kill onto Hecarim or Ashe. They will both safely escape the accelerated shock blast, just barely menacing Hecarim, but he is able to dodge out.
Yeah, Malphite used his teleport there to get into the lane very quickly and landed a great ultimate right into the middle of purple team. That did allow, though, Cho'Gath to push lane. He has been forced back by the creep wave. We did manage to get that tower down a little bit, and he is going to have free reign on that tower for at least another 10 seconds before Malphite manages to get back into lane, because he's obviously just used his teleport. So, still worked out best for blue team there, but the Malphite is going to have a harder time of it in lane with that tower being pushed down to just below half health.
Yeah, losing a tower this early in the game for a farm-happy champion like Malphite is definitely a difficult place to be. You know, and he's not going to have... I mean, he is going to have a decent efficacy throughout the game, knowing that Red Team has a mid-lane AD champion in Jace, but it's a matter of when he can take his armor. You actually see him taking Mercury Treads thus far in the game, potentially looking to be clear of Taric stuns and Cho'Gath ruptures as he's able.
Yeah, it's a pretty sensible choice, especially like with Maokai's twisted advance, Cho'Gath stuns, Taric stun as well. It's something, you know, it's pretty much needed throughout the entirety of blue team there.
Certainly. We see 2 Philo Stones coming out from the blue team so far here at 11.5 into the game. Do you expect to see them build the same kind of items out from them? What all builds off of Philosopher's Stone these days? I know it has some more uses than it used to.
It's a Shirelia's Stone, is the... Shirelia's Reverie, sorry,
right,
is
one
the
of the most
primary...
common items from it, especially with that now increased cooldown reduction. Do you think Malphite might be thinking the same thing as Zyra then? A lot of damage going down onto Ashe, getting taken extremely low very quickly. The ace in the hole coming out, it is going to take her down. Chocobro Rain not able to get in the way quickly enough. It's always fun to see. There was a lovely video in the subreddit the other day about a flash counter flash response to a Caitlyn ult that ultimately left the original target as the one taking the ultimate. Those are always fun to watch when you try to jump in the way and it just doesn't quite work out.
Yeah, sorry, back to the Philosopher's Stone. You know, you can build Shirelia's Reverie as the primary item, and 2 Shirelia's isn't a bad thing on the team. It's potentially a little bit of overkill, especially with Malphite's engage and Hecarim's engage there. It's not like you need... Oh, and Ashe's ultimate arrow there. It's not like you need 2 sets of speed boost to catch up with the enemy. But with the recent changes to Ohm Wrecker, we could potentially be seeing one of them building that.
An Ohm Wrecker on Malphite would not be a bad choice. You know, they have tried to make it more appealing for both supports and for tankier players there. The ult from Ashe is going to go down onto Caitlyn. Hecarim coming in just as quickly as he can. The Zyra ult goes down. She's not going to make it out of there. Hecarim going to pick up the kill, and they're going to chase down onto Taric immediately as Maokai tries to move into the way. Taric flashes towards Maokai. Maokai not going to be able to put down quite enough disruption. In all likelihood, Taric has exhausted and now stunned Hecarim. It's going to be the volley from Ashe missing somehow. The visual effect clearly went across Taric but did not hit him. Now blue team will move immediately onto Dragon. Ashe taking a little bit of damage from a sapling thrown her way. The shock blast might potentially allow Jace to snipe for the Dragon.
Does look like that's what he's going to do, but he doesn't have vision.
Nah, too early. A good try though, but Maokai is now in severe trouble. Ashe on RJB man on Ashe did run out of mana and was not able to continue the chase. But is going to have a good time farming up. That'll allow her some parity with Caitlyn here, who did have a slight advantage in creep score, although she did miss some of those creeps there, and is going to be backing. Speaking of creeps, things looking pretty even, except for in the mid lane here.
Yeah, Jace just using that advantage. I'm guessing he used that the advantage that he got from that blue buff in the early game to just be a little bit more aggressive onto those crypts, using his abilities on the rather than having to use auto attacks, and that has just given him at this stage a considerable lead. I mean, he does have 1 kill up,
right?
But
The
otherwise
accelerated shock blast, as compared to say the dark wind, it's a much stronger AOE ability. Because it's rather than it's a bounce line or point to point, it is a straight up relatively large AOE.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the only place where we're seeing a huge difference. Bottom lane, 20 creeps advantage for Caitlyn over Ashe, but that's
with the
not
gank up at top,
the
but
end of the
Shogat
world.
does have a pretty significant amount of health at this point. 2,000 total. Only gets brought down to about 1,300. There's a lot of damage goes down on Ashe. Tarek stuns under the tower and is tanking. Caitlyn with a strong Peacemaker is able to take down immediately, and now the dive onto Zyra. Zyra is going to go down. Tarek does not share the same fate. Caitlyn almost tanked that turret a little long, but nobody in the area from red team to come, or from blue team to put any sort of presence into the lane.
Tarek there being very, very lucky. He goes a bit too aggressive under that tower. He didn't quite get out of the range a few times. He obviously isn't entirely confident with the range of those turret abilities, because a few times he walked away, he came back in, he walked away, he came back in, while still maintaining under range. A couple more hits, maybe one more hit, and he would have gone down to that. So just needs to be a little bit more sure of what he's doing under that turret before he commits to something.
Sure, but as you say, that godly pink skin giving him effectively a form of,
Yeah,
Pantheon's
absolutely.
Aegis protection. So obviously he wouldn't have gone down to the turret anyway. It would have procced
Yeah.
right before that final turret hit landed. So no real worries.
Green Tarek would have died there, that's all I'm saying. The turret just can't kill something that fabulous.
No, I would say he just has to turn and run. Another blue buff is going down to Fiddlesticks. The Calliope playing as he takes his blue buff and heads back to lane, ready for another round of, dare I say, organ grinding. I'm so terrible. Kill me now, please.
The into this stage being close to 2 or 300, 400 now. It's slightly extended for the blue team. It was 100 gold not 30 seconds ago. Obviously, the blue buff increasing it slightly for blue team as well, and just getting a little bit more farm. Ashe slightly closing the farm on Caitlyn there as well.
Well, it's interesting to see how this goes. Hecarim is going to be the one to engage. He engages onto Caitlyn and Tarek, but nobody comes to join him before the point where he jumps into the jungle with 3 people waiting for him. Red team puts a lot of damage down onto him quickly. The Ashe arrow splitting the uprights. Whee! It does manage to hit Cho'Gath as Malphite takes down Caitlyn, and Jace going to get a kill onto Hecarim. Tarek now chased out. Blue team turning this thing around after really being in the pits early. Red team had a lot of aggression down onto Hecarim. Vinicius on Malphite is going to finish off Tarek. And Fiddlesticks ready to run away. He's going to put the fear down onto Technical on Jace. Jace flashes from one side of the drain to the other to try to knock away Malphite as they go to secure a 3rd kill. Vinicius will almost certainly be able to get another rolling slab onto him, slows him down again. The Zyra doing a little bit more damage, and Malphite will finish off the unofficial triple, I believe, from that prolonged engage.
Very good turnaround blue team there. Hecarim did engage. By the time Hecarim engaged, it was effectively a 2v4 engage. It did quickly become a 4v4. Engagement there with Cho'Gath up to the top there, so they were very lucky to be able to do that and turn that around and get the focus right without just being burst down. I think because Hecarim he engaged himself, the enemy team did all focus him, and that just did allow the carries to just stand at the back and just poke him down. Bottom lane though, Ashe managed to secure a tower. After she got her arrow, she did just push that lane and push that tower down. So that's now 1 tower apiece. 18. It was just under 18 minutes when the tower went down.
And really, right before that fight broke off, what I was going to talk about was that while the gold differential at that point was virtually nil, that red team seemed to have a little bit better in terms of objective control. And then when that fight broke off, blue team took a significant advantage, and there are people pinging me in the chat because I've been helping them get everything connected for IRC so far. And hey, ladies and gentlemen, there are instructions for all of these things written up. Hecarim getting the engage again. He's taking a lot of damage. The ace in the hole goes down onto him, taking him very, very low. Fiddlesticks broken down during his ultimate. The merry-go-round broke down, but a lot of damage going down onto Caitlyn. Not really sure that there was a word in that brush. The volley down onto Taric getting taken extremely low, but Jace is going to jump back in. A lot of burst damage coming down from each team with these abilities. The Zyra ultimate just barely avoided by Caitlyn.
Again, it's a case of Hecarim engaging a little bit too early. He's engaging by himself. It's only 3 or 4 seconds before the rest of the team, but that allows 3 or 4 seconds to purple team to just burst him down. And for the rest of the fight, he was having to run around at the back, couldn't fully re-engage, and that just kind of takes a huge tanking and crowd control element out of the fight for blue team. And
yeah,
it became an issue there.
Himself as bait as much as an initiator, which isn't really a champion role that any champions besides maybe Teemo fill exceptionally well.
Absolutely, yeah. Everyone wants to kill the Teemo, so he works perfectly as bait.
Well, so long as he's actually visible. You know, he just has to sit in an area where a team fight's going to break off and then move once as soon as the team fight starts.
Yeah.
Red team is preparing for a dragon here. They are going to take it pretty much uncontested. Zyra may be looking for something. She's going to put down some plants, hoping the plants will steal it away, but the smite is going to take it instead.
Yep, nothing really much Zyra could do, but it's always worth a shot. It costs her nothing, or next to nothing to do that. Relatively quiet top lane, you know, Malphite does, he's behind on CS, but he's 3-0-3 to Cho'Gath 0-0-0. Cho'Gath done absolutely nothing in terms of team fights throughout this entire game.
Certainly, you know, and you see that put him over 1,000 gold behind, which is a pretty significant part of blue team's gold lead at this point now. You know, balanced out by Jace having 1,000 gold lead over Fiddlesticks, but you know there are lanes. The top half of the map for blue team seems to be gathering strength. So Hecarim and Malphite looking to be rather strong in the near future.
Taric picked up an Emblem of Valor here, so we can only assume that he's going to be the one who's built a Aegis of Legion and a Runic Bulwark. Top lane.
3 being chased down onto Vinicius here. They gave a little poke, but did not land any of their CC besides the Twisted Advance, and are going to have to back off of him. I was really expecting them, when that first one of those Madcap engages broke off, Hecarim takes one look at 4 people top and says, no thanks, not right now.
Yep, Taric, as I say, built the Emblem of Valor. Hasn't built a Philosopher's Stone yet, which only leads me to believe that he isn't going to be building one. I mean, at this stage in the game, you're not going to get the gold return required from a Philo to make it worth its while, unless you get to the late game and you buy it outright. Which is very, very interesting. You know, Taric, you need a Shirelius potentially. He could be. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, you know, if it's really only the 100 gold or so throughout the game to, you know, that you get less from the Fairy Charm, or what? It sells for 125 or so, and it buys for 180. So to have that extra mana regen for as long as you want it is only about the cost of 2 potions.
Yeah, that's no major loss. It's just seeing the lack of a Philosopher's Stone on a support is something that you don't generally see. Obviously got something, a different tactic. He obviously prefers the Sight Stone and the trying to rush the Aegis. Obviously not rushing it too well. It's nearly 23 minutes into the game and he hasn't even got the base Aegis, let alone the Bulwark. So who knows what's going on with Taric.
Yeah, may perhaps not have GP10 quints or runes available to him, so you could see his gold generation be smaller than you expected. It's 3,670 to Zyra's 4,870.
Yeah, and he is only 1 assist behind, so I'm guessing there is some kind of GP10
fighting going on at
issue
top.
going on.
Both champions having extremely high amounts of health. The Ignite goes down onto Vinicius, but it is not enough for Cho'Gath to start salivating just yet. Hecarim going to head up that way, walk through a sight ward on his way there. No, perhaps turn around. Red team has a lot of sight across the top of the map, and then a lot of sight on the top half of the bottom lane here. You see all those wards for each team. They definitely don't want to leave anything to chance on the way to Dragon, and they're both now focusing the mid lane to try to maximize their view, their Fog of War advantage.
Yeah, Hecarim breaking off there to go clear those wards at the bottom. If Palpatine realise this, they are going to be able to push 4v3. No one remotely tanky at mid lane, so they could potentially do a full dive, quickly burst down the tower, but that would allow Zyra and
I think it's a matter of
exactly.
I think it's a matter of how much poke they take, and they just took an accelerated shock blast to both of those champions you mentioned, and that really made it a much riskier proposition for them to try to ult in, and so ultimately Red Team was able to take that tower with very little opposition.
Yep, gold lead now back to 700. Blue team just have the gold lead. They're a tower behind, but they are a kill up, so a very small gold lead. So it's not going either way at this stage. You know, it could go either way. Sorry.
A little bit of face-to-face here, but no real engaging yet. Red team just clearing out those creep waves. Blue team, I'm not sure about them deciding to wait for another creep wave to come up. It's still behind where their tower used to be, but another accelerated shock blast going down on Ashe. She's getting very low. Vinicius coming down from the top lane, letting Cho'Gath take that top tower. They're going to try to get aggressive onto the mid tower here. It looks like now that this creep wave has arrived.
Yeah, Malphite and Hecarim both have their ultimates up, so they could see a
the ult going down onto Jace, and now the Hecarim ult. Jace is going to flash out of the way. The Zyra ult going down onto Maokai. Maokai taking a lot of damage from Ashe. Fiddlesticks comes in as Ashe leaves. Fiddlesticks gets stunned under the turret. He's going to have to Zhonya's. Now the aggression going down onto Ashe and Zyra. Another creep gets in the way just in time, and it's able to switch aggression onto Malphite. Malphite, no! Hecarim going to walk in the way of that ult and almost give a kill up to Caitlyn.
A lot of damage there for very few kills. Now, I don't know if anyone else saw that, but it didn't appear that anyone on the Purple team got knocked up from the Malphite ult, even though it did seem to hit them right in the middle of the group. I don't know whether that was just a graphical bug or his ult got interrupted in some way.
Let's see if we can take a quick look back at that. I didn't even notice at the point where he did ult. Ah, bugger. We'll worry about it later.
Ping's coming out from blue team onto Baron there.
Yeah, they do have vision of it at this point. They're waiting for Dragon to come up and then possibly to move over to Baron if they're able, or really to expect blue to potentially be warding the Baron area at this point as well.
Yeah, blue's wards have dropped off now. Purple teams are managing to keep those up, but you know, Zyra does have the sight stone, and she is picking up more wards, and so is Hecarim. He does go and actually place that ward there. It's not a pink ward, so he isn't able to clear purple team's ward there.
Oh, I apologize for my truancy just now. I had to take a phone call, so I did miss what you were just discussing, but I do see Cho'Gath and Hecarim engaging in and around the Baron pit. Health continuing to be the order of the day, whether you take it as part of a Spirit Stone, the Spirit of the Ancient Golem down on Maokai for an additional 500 health, a really exceptional amount for a kind of a support-based item, but a nice choice on him with some resistances and regen to boot. And then you see Ashe is going to engage in. She's going to hit Taric and Caitlyn, both low health targets with the stun, and Malphite going to come in immediately after with the Unstoppable Force, picks up a kill onto Caitlyn. Jace with the Shock Blast trying to, as hard as he can, to keep people off of the turret, but as soon as this creep went, Malphite is almost certainly going to lead the way in. Ashe going to back out a little bit, people getting taken low as well. Jace is going to try to put anything he can down on Fiddlesticks, but now Maokai getting taken very, very low by Vinicius and Fuzzy Alfalfa. Hecarim and Malphite being able to tank the tower and the enemy champions pretty effectively.
Yeah, that combination there of the Ashe ult, Malphite and Hecarim's ult, and Fiddlesticks' ult, it's going to be a very hard time for Purple Team to not let Blue Team just run away with this now. They do have that amazing hard engage ability from the combination of all these, the crowd control and damage output from these ults. Is there anything, what do you think Purple need to do once we see the Ashe arrow come out and potentially hit someone? Best case scenario, it hits a tank or it misses completely. What can Purple Team do to not let the great engage of the team just dominate every single team fight?
Yeah, I think red team needs to find the ability to creep score a little bit, and they need to find and engage on their own terms. You know, Jace has a Last Whisper and a Bloodthirster that I believe is fully no, he's still waiting to stack it up, so he needs to get on that as quickly as possible. And then a Tear of the Goddess as well, or perhaps it's another bug in the Spectator client, because it looks like his Tear of the Goddess is not charged at all either, and I doubt that's the case.
Yeah, it's saying well, for me, it's saying 750 out of 750 for Tear of the Goddess, which is as far as it will go before he upgrades into a Man Immune or an Archangel staff.
Well, all right, that's certainly good to know. What does it say for the Bloodthirster? Because certainly that damage is going to be very nice for him to have.
Yeah, it's capped for me as well. So I'm guessing that's a graphical bug for you because they're both capped for me, Bloodthirster and Tear of the Goddess.
Right, I mean, and so his accelerated shock blasts are going to be doing an exceptional amount of damage. So, you know, being able to get one or two of those off at a good point to start and engage would really be useful. The Dark Wind's going on, doing a lot of damage to Taric and Maokai. Baron getting taken down below about half as blue team continues to engage here. Hecarim going to take a pretty significant amount of poke from Caitlyn there, and they are going to stop Baron for the time being. He's going to be able to regen all the way back up, and this is the kind of thing that red team would like to see. The shock blast does land down on Zyra. Champion's getting taken, at least one getting taken down rather low from blue team. Everybody else regenerating health pretty well.
Yeah, blue team do have their ults up, so they could have done a hard engage there if they'd have chosen to. But for some reason, I'm getting the impression that they feel they're on the back foot after that failed Baron attempt. They didn't get the engage they wanted, and you know, now blue team, red team, sorry, depending on the client you're using.
There goes the ult. Despite blue team getting taken low, they aren't taking any chances. The rupture goes up. Jace is going to slam dunk Cho'Gath's target there, but the Zyra ult does go down, taking several members of red team relatively low. Maokai and Taric to be specific. Jace on the far side of fights, being able to take down another target, a double kill onto Hecarim. Now Maokai being taken down. More things going on as Cho'Gath is able to take out Fiddlesticks and a Jace kill onto Zyra. That was kind of a counter engage coming out from blue team with all of their CC, but Jace was able to sneak into the back lines of the blue team and just pick up a triple kill there, as we saw, with Cho'Gath doing a good job providing additional disruption for him.
Yeah, Jace did amazingly well at the start of the fight. Within a matter of seconds of the engagement, he had burst Ashe down, and she was out of the fight. Like, she's out of the fight so early that she's now respawned. You know,
Malphite takes a kill onto Maokai, and some great tower defense action here. I didn't mean to cut you off, but to let you go right back to your action there, but it was some fine defense from Vinicius there.
Yeah, Jace taking Ashe out of the fight so early into that engagement just meant that Palpatine lost a huge amount of their damage out, but you know, she has an Infinity Edge and a Phantom Dancer at this stage, so taking her out just allowed them a little bit more free reign to focus Fiddlesticks, who had to Zonya's at a very low health and then went down as soon as that came off cooldown. Same for Zyra, she went down very quickly there as far as I'm aware. So great work with Jace there in securing that early kill. He did exactly what he needed to do. And it just turned that fight around.
Certainly. We see blue team going back for the Baron again. Cho'Gath and Taric do know that it's going down, so they are coming and grouping people up as quickly as possible. Another ward being placed down. Blue team unable to do things about it just yet. They're trying to get it as low as they can, but they aren't able to take it down. Baron, on the other hand, getting taken down extremely low. Cho'Gath with the rupture tries to eat it, but does not get it. The blue team now has the Baron buff, and Cho'Gath in the middle of everyone, getting feared out and then taken down. Red team is either going to have to back off entirely or jump right onto Fiddlesticks as soon as they can, but Hecarim doing the engaging. It's going to take down Caitlyn with no problems at all. And now Taric going down, and Maokai shortly to follow. This is blue team's time to shine.
Yeah, fantastic use of the Onslaught of Shadows and Ashe's ultimate there, both done at the same time, both hitting Caitlyn at the exact same time. She went on in a matter of seconds. And again, like we said in the last fight, you take the AD carry out that quickly at the start of the fight, and that team is going to have a huge disadvantage.
Absolutely. You know, even our secondary AD carry here couldn't do anything too much because he needs to be able to play or at least act as both bruiser and carry. And when your carry is taken out so quickly in one of your front lines and Maokai goes down quickly as well, there's not too much the Jace can do besides back away. So that is going to be an inhibitor and a base turret for the blue team.
Does look like minions are going to get top out a turret as well. So that's going to be another free turret for blue team.
Yeah, you see it going down relatively slow, but yeah, it should be within like a couple of hundred health by the time this creep wave goes away. But Caitlyn may get to it in time.
It's going to be a very close call now. It does look like the minions. Yep, there we go. Minions.
I was saying, was potentially reconsidering as well that momentary indecision to potentially go towards the dragon. To engage there is going to cost. But blue team still does have the Baron buff, and they're going to be able to take an easy dragon, extending their lead to 8,000 gold now.
Yep, they have 3 towers, 8,000 gold.
Jason Cho'Gath getting found out in the area. Ash and Hecarim doing the double dance of death again. This time on to Jace, getting taken down so very quickly. Gentleman Cho enjoying a spot of tea before backing away from this soon-to-be-destroyed tower. We hardly knew ye.
Have a GG coming out from Jace there. Clearly tried as hard as he can, getting a little bit disheartened at this stage. You know, he has played fantastically. Highest CS out of anyone in the game so far. Jason, it is unfortunate when you do play well, but it doesn't quite work for your team.
Speaking of client bugs and graphical things not showing up the way they should, I'm not seeing any chat despite having the show all chat in match games feature enabled in my spectator client.
I've saw GG from Jace at 34 minutes 16 seconds. That's the only thing I've seen said by a champ.
Well, I say I'm not seeing any sort of chat at all. I'm not seeing item buys. I'm not seeing champion. I just noticed that when you said that Jay said something.
Oh, so I'm seeing all of that, so I think that's an issue on your end.
Yeah, certainly. I suppose I'll try to repair my client between this game and the next one. GG, Riot.
Hecarim picking up an Iceborne Gauntlet and a Locket of the Iron Solari in one purchase. Oh no, sorry, that was just a delay on my end. But he has picked up an Iceborne and a Locket right now. Oh no, it was one purchase, they were 2 seconds apart, sorry. You got to question Locket of the Iron Solari at this stage of the game. It's not going to have a huge difference. You know, it's an item that is best bought as early as possible. You know, it's 50 plus 150 damage on a 6-second cooldown, a 200 damage reduction, or 200 shield, should I say. You know, it's better than a poking in the eye with a sharp stick, but at this stage, it's not gonna turn the tides of a fight. That this stage, blue team are probably going to win.
One ability or auto attack per champion for the time, but as far as you know, it's relatively small AOE, and the fact that Hecarim has far and away been just kind of the front line and the engage for the blue team. You'd think that, I mean, you knew he had the Emblem of Valor for most of this time, or was at least thinking about it in that regards. But the only, or the most useful stat for it, I think, for him would be the cooldown reduction. And, you know, so that and the Iceborne Gauntlet going to allow him to use his cleave and his other abilities that much more often. But yeah, I mean, Locket, you're right, not the best choice for him because he hasn't been staying close to his teammates all that often because he hasn't needed to.
Yeah, he's rushing off ahead, and you know, potentially he could pop it before he engages, but you know, we see Ash as a Guardian Angels there. They're going to have enough defensive stats coming out, you know, from themselves where they feel it's necessary. And it's not like it is particularly necessary for blue team. They are pushing pretty hard against purple team right now, and it's not like they need to be defensive. They need to continue on as they're doing and not allow purple team to farm up and bring this back.
Right. I'm a little saddened to see Tarek having gotten rid of his Fairy Charm without trying to build anything towards Mikhail's Crucible, knowing how often and how badly they're being disabled by Ash Arrows. That Enchanted Crystal Arrow really just putting down multiple members of their team, especially their AD carry, in pivotal moments.
Yeah, interesting, like we said earlier, we didn't see Tarek build a Mikhail's Crucible, which would have been very useful with the amount of CC coming out from blue team.
But what will be, will be. And you see even now Cho'Gath and a couple other champions pokes with the fact that red team has been feeling that they need to, or at least have ended up building so tanky. Even the heavy poke of champions like Jace and Cho'Gath isn't being felt nearly as strongly anymore.
Blue team doing a fantastic job of keeping the entirety of purple team tied up with this top tower, allowing the minions to push bottom tower in to half health with another wave on the way. Purple team going to have to go and stop that if they want to not lose that tower.
Absolutely, the ace in the hole tries to go towards Fiddlesticks, but everyone is in the way. Red team now also going to have to defend this inhibitor being administered on by super minions, and blue team going to take that opportunity to try to take that bottom, or at least put more poke damage down onto the bottom turret. they're just attacking from all fronts here, and there's not too much a red team can try to do to defend.
Just wait.
They do manage to save the bottom tower with about 100 health left. So we'll see how long that lasts. One auto attack from just about any champion on the blue team will take it down.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty frustrating for them at that stage. They didn't quite get to it quick enough, but credit to Red Team for keeping them tied up at top long enough for that to happen. You know, you've got to pay attention to these things when you are in these long, drawn-out engagements.
I mean, what do you presume to see from kind of an engaged tower, a prolonged tower siege like this? I suspect that blue team will just stick around until either they take too much poke or until some enticing objective like Baron or something else spawns.
Well, you know, they don't. You know, they do have their ultimates up. They could go for the classic Ash Hecarim engage, and I'm not entirely sure why they haven't done that. Because at one point, you know, they probably could. Have engaged under that top tower, taken a couple of kills, maybe a couple of deaths, but I reckon they still would have come out better off than Purple Team, and they could have pushed down and got all three base towers and inhibitors down while we were waiting for the respawn, but it does look like they are just backing off and trying to get Baron.
And you see Tarek having gotten a little cheeky, placing wards throughout his jungle on the top side. Jace actually going to be the one to proc Baron aggression. Red team still expecting that blue is there, just now finding out that they are not currently occupying the Baron pit. And everybody going to back. Red team and blue team alike.
Yeah, blue team obviously do have the advantage. They managed to back earlier before purple team realised they had, so Zyra is the only one not back in lane, so looks like they're going to quickly try and rush a Baron. Purple team don't have vision of this.
And Ashe now into the fight, which means Baron's health is going to be depleting a lot faster. He's down at 7,000 to a half to a third. Cho'Gath getting sight on it just barely in time. Going to try to flash in no, the feast is a failure again. The table is set for more famine for the red team. The Ignite going down onto Fiddlesticks, but Cho'Gath still not being able to complete that feast animation yet again.
Yeah, second fail Baron still there. He's picking up his mana mute, which immediately gets upgraded to a Mura mana because of that stacked Tear of the Goddess, which he'd filled up earlier in the game.
Yeah, so being able to do an additional 120 damage for him, especially with the triple proc from the Cannon W, will be nice, but I don't know that it's enough at this point in the game.
No, I don't think there's very little that Purple Team can do at all. 9 kills, 12,500 gold behind. Lost two of their base turrets, 2 inhibitors. You know, top tower, top inhibitors, just a couple of seconds away. Purple Team decides to do that. Blue Team decides
and
to
the frenzy goes down as Blue Team chases on to the last turret, chases on the Jace actually first. Fiddlesticks putting down the Zhonya's as the Zyra ult goes down. Multiple champions from Red Team. Maokai and Tor getting taken down. Caitlyn's going to pick up a kill onto Fiddlesticks now.
Blue Team took a lot of damage there for very little reward. Yeah, they got kills for 1 death, but they don't particularly have the strength right now to immediately push onto that tower.
They
just need to wait for the
decided
creeps.
to be less focused about it. I think Hecarim and Ashe could still mount a good offensive onto it if they want to, but it looks like they're out for blood right now, so if we see them focused onto anything, it'll probably be Jace or Cho'Gath.
Or the tower.
Yeah. Well, yes, they do seem to have changed their minds now, knowing that the Red Team champions are getting back up. Jace now back in the fight, going to focus onto Hecarim, put down that Mirror mana damage. He's going to flash into range, trying to chase down Hecarim, now changing targets onto Ashe. That was an interesting pull as you see Ashe getting slammed by the hammer from outside of its visual range, putting a lot of damage down, proccing that Guardian Angel, but Caitlyn and Jace both going to be snared up. 1 kill onto Ashe, a double kill onto Zyra. No, that one go down to Caitlyn, and the Zyra passive is going to take Jace down at the edge of its range. Caitlyn now all alone to try to defend the base here.
Yeah, they are going to have 2 big heavy waves of minions coming through. They have done enough to stop the minions getting to the Nexus and completely destroying it at this stage. 1 more push from Blue Team and they will pretty much end this. Very little Purple Team can do at this stage other than farm, wait for the inhibitors to respawn and potentially, win a couple of engages and counter push, but I think that's very, very unlikely. Zyra picking up a locket of the Iron Solari, which only kind of brings to question, what is she doing? You know, we had the discussion not 10 minutes ago about Hecarim picking up Locket of the Iron Solari at such a late stage in the game, and Zyra's picked one up at an even later stage in the game, which is now going to be even less effective than it was, and it is a unique active, so the shields won't stack. I guess they obviously can use two at different parts of the engagement. We have seen a lot of prolonged team fights, so I guess that could come in handy, but it's, like I say, you got to think potentially that money could be spent elsewhere, perhaps with some AP damage from Zyra would be more effective. It's not like anyone else on the team needs the kills at this stage. And it's that a third Locket of the Iron Solari comes out from Maokai on the other team there, so interesting use of Locket of the Iron Solari. Yeah,
I mean, say if you want to talk about money going to relatively useless causes, Jace has picked himself up an Oracle's elixir, so there's that.
Yeah, they're not going to be...
Those spooky ghosts going down onto Jace and Caitlyn. The 90 caliber net is going to land back down onto Malphite, dissuading that engage. But there are another two ghosts. Speaking of double and triple bought items, Fiddlesticks also has himself a Twin Shadows for that extra magic resist and the wonderful, wonderful active ability.
Blue team looks like they just want to try and push this top tower down. You know, it's going to be next to impossible for 3 inhibitor to defend from 3 inhibitor.
But it's time for another engage. Zyra using the ultimate after having taken some heavy harass from Jace and Maokai. Everybody dogpiling into the middle of the lane. This Ghost and the Balloon Dog go down as now full health Hecarim jumps right into the middle of everyone. Is blazing Maokai down. He's going to heal up a little bit with his passive. Maokai getting taken extremely low by a Caitlyn that he did not see coming until it was too late. Caitlyn picks up that kill. Jace is now feared and taken out of the fight. Caitlyn not focusing Fiddlesticks. That's going to be the end of this fight. 2 kills going down onto Ashe to bring her up to 4 and 18. You see, support Ashe is pretty OP. Maokai trying to chase down Ashe and doing any damage he can, but that fear too long and too strong. GG. Well plays coming out from each team. And blue team is going to take this one.
Yep. Very worried at the end there. Blue team managed to get separated, and I thought that was going to go horribly for them because initially they did seem to lose 2 champions very early, but the sheer damage output from Ashe and Zyra is just fantastic.
So I dare say there is a glitch in the Matrix here because Pink Tarek has lost. I repeat, Pink Tarek has lost a game.
I don't know what to say. I think
there were 2 shooters on the grassy knoll. It's the only possible explanation.
Yeah, it's the only. So quickly, you know, looking at purely at scores, MVP without a doubt has to be Malphite, 10-2, 13, 15.4k gold, second highest on his team. But player of the game, who would you give it to?
He's definitely a good choice. Did a good job cleaning up in several different engages. Did a wonderful job tanking that Ashe arrow that came out of that first big engage. Took that right to the face and then managed to clean up that fight anyway. But it's hard to not say kind of a joint award between him and Fuzzy Alfalfa on Hecarim. Hecarim doing an excellent job. First kind of stumbling about in the first couple of large engages from not quite being tanky enough, but ultimately really being able to put down a lot of CC and damage into the middle of the red team each time blue team decided to do their engage.
Yeah, definitely. I'd have to say, a combination of Ashe and Hecarim. The use of their ultimates to combine was just fantastic in the hard engagements. Malphite obviously following up there, but just the way they use the synergy between them both to land those perfect engagements consistently throughout the team fights. Just kind of, you got to give them both a team best player award from me.
Mm-hmm, certainly, and some honorable mentions to Jace, who did an excellent job in his lane. I was actually going to comment earlier, but I didn't quite get the opportunity, that he was doing a really good job fighting against Fiddlesticks in his lane, picking good opportunities to not take the drain directly himself, and then put down as much of his poke as possible right as Fiddlesticks went to use his drains. He was using the accelerated shock blast to break the first half of the chain, and then go directly to the cannon W to make sure that Fiddlesticks regenerated as little health as possible. But that was a very exciting game to watch with a couple of really big engages that ultimately turned the balance of the fight, and Blue Team winning 2 consecutive Barons, I think, really had a lot to do with it.
Yep, right, let's head down to Katarina's tea house there. We can quickly do a post-game interview with the winning team.
I did.
Oh, yeah. You did.
Jesus.
Hello, Crocodile. So how do you think the winning team did today?
I think they did fairly well. We were going for a hard engage comp, and we got kind of worried when they were picking Maokai, Cho'Gath, and Tarek. I think Jace was the biggest threat because they could poke as well as hard engage and still do a lot of damage.
So talk about your contribution to the team.
Well, I was just here, sitting in the Momo room.
He's a cheerleader.
Fantastic.
Oh my god.
I could post what he said to me, but I don't feel like it.
I love the use of "we" as a describer.
Here in
Oh my
spirit.
god.
So, I think with this, you can definitely say that the Ashe Zyra double support bot lane really works out.
Oh, so Fiddle support gets no credit. I see how
No,
it is.
no, Fiddle support was great too. Like, honestly, having a team with 3 supports and then having a tank with all the kills really works wonders.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And you'll be proud to know I did follow a guide for Ashe as well.
Gotta keep it consistent.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So strong, kids.
Oh my god.
It was MOBA Fire.
Wow.
Ew.
I think it
out.
was made around season 1 though. Like it. Oh,
W.
So why didn't
Heart
you
of
play
Gold
mid
as
lane
fifth
then?
item.
You gotta
Yeah,
go,
for
gotta
real.
go mid lane, Ash, if you're gonna play season 1 builds.
I know. I just yeah.
Alright, do you guys have actual questions for us?
I mean, was the plan that Hecarim Ash engagement, or did you just kind of find after the first time it worked well that you'd keep doing that?
No, we set up from the beginning to be like a super hard engaged team.
That's
The
what I
plan
told you.
was to have either Hecarim or Ashe initiate and then have me follow up as with Malphite ult. And whichever of the other two didn't, use theirs.
Fair enough. My fault in the lane. My fault in the Twitch chat mentioned Ash never missed an arrow, which is technically true. We actually followed the one
Yep.
that hit you in the face.
Hit Cho'Gath.
Hit show. That was pretty good. It did seem to stop him from saying,
All
"Hey, you
according
know what?
to
I
plan.
should go stop that fight. I'm just gonna go back to top lane and farm." So it ended up working out in the end, and I definitely planned it that way. Yep. Yeah, I
Naturally.
planned that. Yeah.
That one team fight, I initiated without my team being anywhere, and it worked out. I didn't even die that team fight.
Yeah, I was gonna say the first two, I think, where you were the kind of the hard engage there, and people just kind of followed up to you, didn't go nearly as well for your team because you weren't quite tanky enough, I think. But later in the game, you continued to do the same sort of thing, and the team generally stayed closer to you, and then was able to do more around you.
That probably has to do more with the fact experience as Hecarim. I just picked him up again in Season 3 this week. I mained him in Season 2. And so I've only played him a couple times and over the in entirety of Season 3, so I'm still getting adjusted to how he played. I mean, if you saw St. Vicious play him in LCS, he was ahead of his team dramatically in several team fights that they lost. It's easy to do as Hecarim.
Yeah, you heard it here, kids. Losing is easy to do. That's the moral of the story, and somehow you failed to lose. So congratulations to you.
I'll try harder next week.
I
Way
look forward
to
it.
go.
Rockstar, do you know anything about our other team still being present, or should we go say hi?
I don't. All I do know is the next game is going to be starting in 15 minutes. I am currently in the process of setting the lobby up for the next game, so I don't know if we want to wrap this one up, cut the stream for the VOD, and get the next one going. I don't know if we have time for a second interview.
I don't know. I don't really want to do any of those things, but I suppose I ought to, just for the sake of the stream and all.
The other team disconnected, by the way. The only remaining member is technical.
He played good.
Hi, Technical. How's it going?
What's up?
I don't know, not too much. I just we were going to do an interview, but it's just you at this point. So I don't know if we could have sit down and have a more relaxed one-on-one and tell me about your Jace play.
Well, I was mid, you know what I'm saying? And I just wanted to poke, you know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
And that's all I wanted to do was just poke all game, but the team kept hard engaging me, so just so frustrating. Know what I'm saying?
Would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
That's a very hard question. I'd rather fight the one horse-sized duck. It's one-on-one, you know? I'm not getting hit in the back by anything. Then that's what I'm going to go with. The one horse-sized duck.
I don't know. Ducks are pretty fierce when provoked. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but I have a secret weapon. White bread.
Ooh, good choice. As long as you have several loaves on you at all times, you're definitely good for many duck-sized horses.
Yeah, that's true, you know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying. All right, well, thanks for this interview. It's been a blast. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks for casting. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I think so, yes.
Alright, good game.
GG indeed. That made me profoundly uncomfortable, but as a caster I must persevere and pretend like nothing happened. So GG's to everyone involved, and we are setting up Game 2 in just a second here. Week 13 of the IRC5s in North American Division. Look forward to it in just a second, folks. We're going to cut the stream and be right back with you.